Well, I'm just hilarious. I'm pleased to be here, especially for Women's History Month. And then on International Women's Day, I'm glad that I'm here, y'all. But I'm happy to be able to welcome and present our next host, man. I really look up to this woman, and I love this woman. She went from being co-host on a Hall of Fame show to her very, very own show. She is a business owner, philanthropist, community leader, not to mention the host of the nationally syndicated radio show, Way Up with Yee. Please welcome Angela Yee.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess. Yeah, isn't she doing a great job on The Breakfast Club, though, by the way?
That was a very cute little moment, by the way, just sidebar. But go ahead.
Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. All right, well, I'm really excited to be here today to introduce somebody who, I'm interviewing her. This is our keynote panel. Did you know that?
No.
Keynote.
Yeah, right. No, I did.
Okay, it's a keynote panel.
I'm trying to just be the guest. Go on.
Angie Martinez. Y'all know her as the voice of New York, okay? That's how I know her. She's a New York Times best-selling author. Stop trying to look at my cards. You know, she's also the creator of the hit podcast, Angie Martinez, IRL, in real life. Yes. And you know what they forgot to put here? She's a mom. Okay, the most important job. She's also a rapper. I know she hates it. You are. I'm sorry, you are.
Not today. Not today, Yee. Not today.
Her impact on the culture will be cemented because she is getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This year, we are so honored. We have to pay her so much to be here today. Angie Martinez.
Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. Hello. Can you guys hear us okay back there? Okay, good. Just making sure. Hi, hope everybody's feeling good. She won't let me see her cards. I've been asking her what we're going to talk about. I don't really know, but I'm sure.
I came up with a little game for her, too.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll get to that in a second. But, you know, because you have all these accolades and you are getting this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I want to ask you, how do you want people to remember Angie Martinez as they think back like 100 years from now? What would you want people to say?
100 years from now?
Yes, because you're in the history books. Everybody's going to know Angie Martinez.
That's wild. Man, you went like therapy on me out of the gate.
I always think about how I want to be remembered, so.
I don't think, you really do? Because I don't.
I do.
The thing is, I don't think about that a lot. I'm really just like one foot in front of the next. It's like getting through whatever you just did and on to like, what's the next thing I want to do? What's important to me right now in my life? Like, I have a stepson who's getting ready to go to college. My son is about to be a senior in college.
Woo.
Also, then I look at the opportunities in my career, what's moving me, what's not. I really look at my life and my world right in front of me, because I feel like that's always changing. What you cared about 5 years ago, you might not care about today. So I don't really think about even 20 years from now, let alone 100 years from now.
I think about that because when I look at Angie, like part of, you know, she is the blueprint, and I think about my career in radio and the career that you built for yourself and how people look at you, right? Because the reason you even have your podcast, IRL, and people are so comfortable to come on there is because they know that they can trust you, and they know that you'll be empathetic, and they know that they'll be able to tell their story in the right way. It's not like a aha, gotcha moment. And I also think about the integrity of, you know, if something is not gonna be presented in the right way, is it necessary for me to put this out? And I look at you because I'm like, I want a career like Angie's. And so that's why I asked you that question.
You're the cutest thing in the whole world. Go back to the question, because I got.
When you think about how you want people to remember you, because it is a Hollywood, Hollywood Walk of Fame. I asked that also because, you know, people are going to get up and talk about you, and so when you think about yourself,
the thing is that go back to like you talking about the podcast is in real life, right? I really think all of us, every single one of us in this room, we're like, you're born with gifts, talents, callings, things that pull you, things that you're naturally good at. And to me, it's each of our job, and I take mine very seriously. Like if I'm shown like, oh, you're really good at that, then I think to myself, what is the obligation to that? Is it to serve me because I need peace in my life? Like golf, I'm not really good at it, but I just found golf recently, and I'm like obsessed. And anytime I do an interview, it comes up because I love it. Anyway, so whether it's to serve you or whether it's to serve other people. And so for me in my career, I feel like I've been good at having conversations, really seeing people, really being in the moment, really trying to be honest about where I am in my life. And after you go through a few things, you have stuff you got to share. It's important. That's what was given to me. These abilities were given to me, so it's important that I use them. So that's what the podcast came from. It's like, man, I went through this. I got to tell everybody. This is what you got to do when this happens, because it helped me so much. And so that's kind of how the podcast happened. So I think my career also, it's not just the podcast. I think my career is always looking at my life. What do I have? It's like, what do I got? What can I use to serve the world? What can I use to serve people around me? What can I use to serve myself also? And then balancing that and trying to make the most fun and the best life that you can throughout that, because it's never always good. You never hit the goal all the time, or you get it and it's not what you thought it's going to be, and so you're constantly just moving. And so it's like, find things that fulfill you, make you feel good, find ways to serve. And serve doesn't have to be like overly dramatic soup kitchen. Soup kitchen's great if you want to do that. But serve is really like the things that you're good at, the things that you have to offer. Like, are you offering them? You have to figure out a way to do that.
Okay, see, that was a perfect answer.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Ange. Thank you.
And listen, and since you said golf, let's get to our little game now. It's a word association game.
Oh, my goodness.
So as soon as I say a word, I want you to say what
this
comes
could
to
go
your...
lefty. I'm sorry in advance. Okay.
All right, so whatever comes next. All right, so golf.
Oh. Meditation.
Okay.
For me.
Nico.
Oh, my gosh.
That's her son.
That's my son, my firstborn.
She's not answering these real fast. It's supposed to be quick.
Okay, my heart.
Okay, I heart.
Thea.
You're like, I'm right here.
I mean, she brought me in. She. When I have a problem, I go to her. When something's great, I go to her.
When something's not, I go to her.
All of it. When I have an idea, I go to her. So she is my benchmark. She might not be I heart to the whole world, but to my experience, I heart in my world, my life is definitely, I think, of Thea first.
All right, clients, because y'all in here. Come on, Angie.
Chasing the same thing we're chasing. I mean, clients are people. I don't know. Clients are...
Come on, Angie. Clients, people.
What's your word for clients? I don't know.
Listen, you're the keynote.
All right, and so I choose in my keynote status to ask you, what is your word?
Synergy.
See how I was good at what I was good at, and I turned it on her, and then she did what she was good at, and she gave that good answer. So
all right, we just got two more. Panel.
Panel? Yee.
Okay, all right. And the last one, because we got to do this, beef. Who said? Y'all so hungry. Did you feed these people today?
Lunch. I don't engage in beef. An opportunity to grow.
Okay, there we go. An opportunity to grow.
Yeah. That's many words. I was terrible at this game. I'm sorry.
I know. No, she was. I'm gonna be honest. Did that slip out? I said I know. It was supposed to be quick. Angie be overthinking.
I'm leaving.
See.
Sorry that I was thinking.
All right, listen. I'm gonna ask some of the questions they did give me to ask you. How about that? All right, let's see what they say. Okay. How would you define this current time in your life, both professionally and personally?
I am in like transition. Anybody else? So you know what I'm talking about. I think all of us have times in our lives where so my oldest is about to be a senior in college. My youngest is a senior in high school about to go to college. And then me, I'm trying to figure out what's inspiring me, what I want to do next. And so I am very mindful about these moments because sometimes we're working so hard, we're like breezing through them. And we're not thoughtful about the process. We just kind of let it happen to us as opposed to like making things happen. So when my energy's like, wait, things are moving, things are shifting, I'm shifting. What I liked last year, I'm not sure I like that anymore. It's like I'm checking in with myself to make sure. And I feel definitely there's some shifting. So I'm paying attention to that right now and figuring out what the next iteration of my life will look like. And I think all of us need to do that as regularly as possible because, we're all, I would imagine if you're in this room, you're like ambitious, you have goals, you have things you want to do, and sometimes we set things for ourselves that no longer serve us, and I think we always have to check in with ourselves to say, is it working? Is it not working? What more could I be doing? How could I be happier? We're always asking ourselves and always kind of reworking the plan.
Yeah, I do that seriously like every week. I'm like, why am I still doing this?
Yeah.
And not this, but just other things.
I am so interviewing her after this.
And Angie, I want to ask you, when it comes to decision making, I mean, you've had some monumental things that you've done in your career. Like even as far as writing a New York Times bestselling book, which by the way is a great book if you guys haven't read it. It's amazing.
I'm proud of it.
It's gonna be a movie one day, right?
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. How did you know it was time to write a book? Like, how does a person know? How did you know?
I had paying attention to what my insides were telling me and feeling like I had so much, I was like bubbling with like ideas and thoughts and reflections, and I had just came to iHeart, so it was a big transition in my career, and I was faced with so much opinion about it and feelings about it, and I don't know, it was just a lot of energy coming at me, and I wanted to give the energy back in like a positive kind of reflective way. I in no way looked at it like, this was my life. Like, because you think a memoir, you think usually you do that later in life. I just kind of wanted to reflect on what my career, what my life had been up to that point. I think everybody, by the way, if you are in a place in your life and you need to figure some things out, like a memoir, I always say this, everybody should write your own book because you'll learn from your own lessons. You learn from your family history. You learn from the decisions you make. And sometimes when you put it on paper, you'll be like, oh, man, I did that 3 times in my life, the same thing. I didn't even realize I did that, and this is what happened. It really is a moment, a heavy self-reflection moment for you to kind of learn from your own self. Whether you publish it, let anybody read it, or don't, or you put it away in a vault somewhere, I do think it's important to like look at your story, look at your life, and kind of assess. So for me, it was a great opportunity to do that. And when I wrote it, I was like, I don't know if I want to tell anybody all this stuff, because there were some things in there. So I wrote it and I gave myself the freedom to say, okay, I'm gonna get it all out and then I'll decide if I want to edit, if I want to scrap it, if whatever. And then once you get it out, you realize even the messy stuff, even the mistakes, it's all for a reason. You really see that. And so I just was like, take it, just take it. And then what I got back was really nice. It's my favorite thing, like if I'm in the streets and I run into people. I mean, I love when people say, I listened to you on the radio this whole time, or I remember this, or people have memories. But I also really love when somebody has read the book because it's a different level of connection, and I know somebody took the time. It takes time to read a book. And so the fact that, and it took me a long time to write it. So, it's definitely something I'm proud of when I look back.
You feel like you'll do a part 2? Like, because
maybe
another chapter. Like
it's hard. No, it's hard. So I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Not right now. Now I am writing a lot. I've been writing scripts lately, and I don't know where. Again, I'm writing that with the intention of let me get it out and see where the world puts it for me. And so I've been doing that. And so who knows what that goes to? And then maybe we circle back around to it. But
okay, we like it.
I got 3. I've done 3. I've never did in my life. Imagine at this big age, I'm starting like a new career, a new hobby, a new thing. And I'm like, I'm actually not terrible at it. Sometimes I read them back and I'm like, this is actually really good. And so I've been like immersed in that new thing.
We would love to see these scripts, right?
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to fund a new writer, then
look, we got clients in the room. Synergy.
Shout out to the clients. We love the clients.
All right, now
I should have said my favorite.
Right, yeah. What I love about my job the most, our clients. Now, I also want to talk to you about your son. I mean, I remember first meeting him. He was just, a little cute Nico. He's adorable, but now he's how old?
Yeah, when I came to iHeart, Nico was, 10? It's been like almost 10, almost 9. Yeah, like 10 years old, 11.
And now he's
like 20, playing basketball, traveling the country.
And you know what I love to see, though, because even as women, right, we face a different challenge when it comes to family decisions. And you had a child, at the height of your career, too.
Yeah.
And why you made that face?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So what were some of the things that you had to deal with at that time that is unique to women, obviously, in the workplace?
I was ready. I know it seemed like a weird point. Like I was like doing music. I didn't really love it anyway. So I got people think, oh, you walked away from that. I'm like, it was okay. I didn't mind walking away from that. I was better at radio. It was easier. It was just a natural fit for me. So I was ready. I was 30. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. And then I did it. And then I realized, oh my God, this is like a big deal. This is hard. This is, sorry to Jess. I'm not trying to scare Jess, who I know is here. It's hard, Jess. It's not as easy as people sometimes say. It's hard. It takes a lot of, it's a shift. It's a big shift in your life. You have another human being to look after and care for and mold. And that is a big, huge responsibility. But it works out. We're women. We deal with whatever comes and we make it work. And we did. And my son is amazing. And I have another bonus son that's amazing too. And not all the time. Sometimes they piss me off and they do stupid things.
That's their job,
But I do stupid things, so I get it. We're on this journey together. We're like figuring it out as we go.
And Angie, you forged some really great relationships in the business. What's the balance of work, but also knowing that like this is my friend? How do you balance those things out? Because
I always, if it's a real friendship, I choose friendship, and it's not just friendship. I choose people, every time. Like if I have a genuine, if somebody's in crisis. And I have an opportunity to put them on the radio, I'm not going to put them on the radio because I choose human being always over career, always over work. That doesn't mean we can't make an opportunity together. Are you ready to talk about it? Let's talk about it. That's a different situation. But I always choose that. And it can be funny sometimes. But also I have a very small group. And my friends, I believe, also respect me, respect what I do. They wouldn't put me in a position where it would compromise anything work-related. So I think that's really it. You just got to follow your gut, lead with integrity, lead with, just be kind, be present with your friends, and then do your best. That's really it.
And that's why I said, I look at my career and I'm like, I want to be like Angie. That's how.
Why?
Because the integrity of it, of saying that I'm not just doing something because I know it'll be a huge, numbers click, but it's also caring about people and being, I don't know if this is a good idea for you to do this right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
it always is, even if you have to take an L to do the right thing, it always is better to do the right thing because it always will come back to you. May not be in that moment. You sleep better anyway at night. Thank you. No, but it's really true. I believe that. And I operate my life that way. Like, even if I'm confused, like, oh God, well, what's the right thing to do? And then it becomes very easy. It's like, well, this is the right thing to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes you do have to take a loss, so you have to, or in that moment, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's okay. You have a better life. It's worth it.
All right, now here's another question from the note card. All right, so Hall of Famer, daily radio show, podcast, TV, family, you do it all, but how do you find the time to manage it all?
Come on, Ange. None of us find the time to manage it all. We're always dropping a ball. We're always rearranging our plates. We're always like, okay, I got to swipe these three things off the plate because they're killing me. Or this is too much. Sometimes we pile the plate too high and you gotta shake it off, and I'm always doing that. I'm always putting too much and then being self-aware kind of and being like, okay, let me take these off. But what I tell you, what I'm really good at, and I recommend this, is also you really have to prioritize your time for yourself. And that is something I have always said, and I was lying most of my life. It was a lie because I was not doing it. I do it. I really do. When I hit a wall or I'm getting close to the wall, like, oh, I feel it coming. I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired. I'm this, whatever. I'm just, I will. And Thea knows because I go to Thea. I'll be like, Thea, I need 2 days. So I got to use some of my vacation days. And I will go sit on wherever by myself, or I'll go to a spa, or I'll go to, and when it's time, you have to prioritize yourself. You can't even manage what's on your plate if, it's to put your seatbelt on first. You have to. It's actually...
Yeah, I had to learn how to say no to things because we want to do everything, right? People ask you to do stuff all the time. Sometimes it sounds like a great opportunity, but you don't have to say yes to everything because
but here's the thing about...
always going to be things.
Here's the thing about ambitious women and opportunity. Not every opportunity is for you. Not every opportunity is going to serve you. Pick and choose. That's why you have to be mindful about what you want. If you're not clear about your goals and what you want, you're not taking the time to be by yourself, to ask yourself those questions, then you're just running around chasing opportunity. There's opportunity on every corner. I could sit in this room and spend the rest of my life exercising every opportunity with just the women in this room. I could do that. We could all do that. But I think having clarity about what serves me, what do I want? What do I want to do? Then you can choose the opportunities that serve the thing that you're working towards. But if you don't know and you're just running out here around like a hamster on a hamster wheel and chasing all these opportunities, of course you cannot balance that. There's way too many opportunities in the world.
Yeah, you can't do something just because you can do it. You really have to want to do it and have to feel like it makes sense.
And you'll be better at it because you're working towards something. So you'll be better at it than just chasing a whole bunch of stuff and saying yes to everything. Hey, you should come here because no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you is really nice. No, thank you. Thank you, but no, thank you.
And
one thing
I will say about the pandemic, we did learn, and iHeart hates this about it, we can work from home too.
Sometimes it's really nice to work from home.
Thanks to modern technology. It's, when you need a day or something happens or...
I agree. It's really nice to work from home. It's also really nice to figure out what you need to make you operate at your best self. And so sometimes that might be work from home. Right. I can do better today. I'll have more hours, whatever the thing is, home or whatever the thing is.
Meetings on Zoom instead of having to meet in person. I mean, sometimes you're like, do we have to meet in person? Can we just hop on a Zoom?
But
that is important, right? To be able to do that. When we think about congestion pricing on the way here in New York and all the things that are happening. I love that we have everybody's attention. Facebook's not and Instagram's not back up yet, is it? Okay. Who said no? Y'all didn't even know? I love this. Yeah, it's been down since this morning.
Since this morning. What are we going to do? It's a crisis.
It's up? It's up? Okay.
We're in crisis, ladies. We have to figure this out.
Well, listen, Angie, as we close this out, because I know we have another Julie Donahue who's going to be coming up in a second. Nice. But I just want to close this out with, you talking about what you have coming up. You said you have some scripts on the way. But what other things is Angie Martinez now striving toward? Like what?
Peace.
World peace or inner peace?
Both. Both. Can we get both? Can I get inner peace and can we get world peace? I am transitioning into some things. Like I said, I've been writing a lot, and shout out to Brittany, my podcast producer, who's with me.
Hey, Brittany.
She's gonna be a phenomenal producer, creator, director, whatever she wants to be. So together we're working on some projects and trying to tap into that space a little bit, and then Thea and I are always looking at what we're doing here and ways to evolve that. And, I told you I'm in transition. I'm figuring it out right now, what's next. And I actually am learning to like this little period. I don't let it go too long. You can't sit there too long and not do anything because then you can get too, still. But while I'm in it, it's kind of nice. So it's a good moment for opportunities to me to pay attention to things because I'm paying attention to the world. I'm paying attention to myself. And so we'll see where that lands. Maybe next year's thing, I'll be like, let me tell you what I did. I figured out. And then that'll be exciting. But I'll be here. I still love the radio. I still love my podcast is doing great. And yeah.
And by the way, make sure y'all check out the podcast. Amazing interviews with people like Ashanti, Killer Mike, Coi Leray, Alicia Keys, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, thanks.
Continue.
Thanks.
Moneybagg Yo.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Thank you.
So I watch it all the time. So if you want to see how a pro does it, Angie Martinez. Okay.
Back at you, sis.
All right, and thank you so much. And I tell Aunt, every time I see you, makeup, no makeup, she looks amazing.
Stop it, thank you. This is like
blueprint.
A big flattery fest. I'm sorry that you had to watch this.
I love Angie. Y'all don't understand it.
So
it's
sweet.
Always surreal for me to be here with you.
And congratulations to you, Way Up with Yee. She's been working her ass off, and I've been witnessing it every day. So
she's like, you're still here? Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me and Angie Martinez. And make sure you listen to the Angie Martinez Show on Power 105.1. And now we're going to turn this over to iHeartMedia's Julie Donahue.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.